Hello, I'm John Baille, and I'm with the Gastrointestinal Endoscopy Editorial Board. And I'm here today to talk to Mark Gromski, who is one of the authors of an upcoming paper in the journal. So welcome, Mark.
Thank you for the invitation.
And as it's a complicated title, I'm going to read this because I'll get it wrong if I try and do it from memory. But this is a prospective randomized comparison of a prototype endoscope with deflecting working channels compared to conventional double-channel endoscope for rectal endoscopic submucosal dissection in an established experimental simulation model. I may have to lie down for a few minutes after reading that. But the authors are Jung, Cato, Lee, Gromski, Chitani, and Mathis. So tell us a little bit about the simulation model that you have.
Sure. So we devised an ex vivo simulation model made out of porcine specimens that have been harvested, and basically we use 40 centimeters of the porcine anus, rectum, and colon, and set them up in a simulator tray, and then we proceed from there with the ESD procedures.
So as I understand it, you created some lesions in the pig rectums that were to be excised, to be cut out, and you were comparing a newer prototype kind of scope with a standard scope. Can you tell us what deflecting working channels are? I wasn't quite sure about that.
Right. So the prototype scope that we were using has two deflecting channels. One moves vertically like a ERC duodenoscope, and it uses a similar button that you can use with your thumb, and then it has a horizontal deflecting working channel as well that we call the sway bar. So it sways horizontally, and it was devised so that you can use the vertical bar for some deflection with a forceps to get some deflection of the tissue, and then you cut with the horizontal sway bar.
So this is really a kind of revolutionary modification of the current device. There's nothing else out there like this.
Correct.
So as I understand it from the paper, the conclusion of this was it made the process easier for people in training to do, which I guess is the whole idea of simulation. Is that correct? It was. How did you compare it? What were you comparing?
Absolutely. So we compared the efficiency of the dissection as a marker using the marker of time, the time of dissection, and we also compared safety in the model with perforation and en bloc status. A summary of the results is that the safety, there was no difference in beginner or an expert. There was no significant difference in perforation or en bloc status between the two. What we did find is that the beginner actually completed the resections in a quicker amount of time with this prototype endoscope. We didn't find those results in the expert.
So the experts look bad at the end of it. No, just kidding you. But my last question is, this is interesting work on a nice model, but the rectum's kind of easy compared to the cecum or something. Are you planning to go upstream at all? Or you get any other plans for modeling the same kind of thing in a thinner part of the bowel?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question because right now as we speak, we're in the midst of a learning curve study where we're using multiple portions of the colon in this model, not only the rectum, and seeing what the learning curve is with beginners in different parts of the rectum and in the colon. So I'm anxious to see what the results are of this.
Well, I am too, although I don't like you making experts look bad. Thank you very much for coming to talk to us.
Thank you very much.